Welcome to a new video, my friends. I believe today's topic is very important. Research has shown that networking plays a role that is essential to staying employed, to increasing your salary, and in the overall level of your job satisfaction. Networking will help you land a job, close sales, and build new relationships that can be very empowering and beneficial. So basically, it's important to know how to do this the right way. I already shared a tip yesterday exclusively on my Periscope account. The replay is available, I think, for 24 hours, so you might still be able to watch it. I didn't share that anywhere else, so if you don't follow me on Periscope, please do, so you get all the exclusive nuggets I will share pretty much every Monday. Now, I came a long way from being the socially awkward kid and the poor communicator I was as a young adult, and the fact that I did that gives me the confidence that what I'm sharing here can help other people around the world. There is no magic to becoming better people and improving our lives, it just takes work. This week, I'm sharing with you tips that, if followed consistently, can turn you into a networking superstar. So please grab something to write with, keep watching, and make sure you're subscribed to my channel. Most people, when they think of networking, they think of going to events and such. But the first thing I would like to encourage all my viewers to do is to start by networking in your current network. Rather than simply liking pictures and commenting, use Facebook to really reconnect with old friends. It's been learned in recent years that old friendships are among the most overlooked and underutilized sources of, and I quote, knowledge and social capital. So being actually connected with the people you're connected with is the first step you should take. Engaging more and getting to learn your LinkedIn connections will fall into that thinking pattern as well. So you don't just want to be connected with people, you want to connect with them. I hope that makes sense. Another way to work your current network is by thinking of two people you think should know one another, then introduce them. Think of how these two people could benefit from knowing each other. Mention that when you facilitate the introduction, then follow up with them individually about a week or so later to find out if they did connect and if they found the introduction to be worthwhile. Knowing that will help you get better at making these introductions down the line, and the more you do that, the more you'll gain the respect and the appreciation of those around you. Not to mention that people won't forget your thoughtfulness, plus they will be much more inclined to help you should you ever need to be introduced to somebody they know. The last tip I have for networking within your own backyard is to think about 5 people that you would reach out to for advice if, knock on wood, you are laid off from work today. Pick those 5 people out and then make sure to invest regularly in those specific relationships. When it comes to networking outside of your immediate circle of influence, you have to work out of confidence. Social events are nerve-wracking. We don't know if anybody will want to talk to us, and if they do, are they going to judge us, reject us, etc. So add an empowering component to your routine when getting ready. Before going to any place where your social game needs to be on point, tell yourself words of affirmation that will stimulate your confidence. Things like, I know what I'm doing, I have confidence in myself, I'm a leader, I will attract good people and make quality connections. Those are great. Something more simple would be, I'm smart, I got this. I used to go to a lot of networking events, and many of them had keynote speakers, right? And so to pump myself up, I would always tell myself as I was walking into all those places that one day I will be speaking in front of hundreds of people. Not only did that pump me up for the events, but it attracted the kind of energies that made what I'm doing today possible. Now, it's also very important to manage the expectations when going to these events. Don't add pressure on yourself expecting to meet X amount of people or give out X amount of business cards, because that is not the right way to look at it, and that will dilute the quality of your time spent. One quality connection will trump 20 mediocre ones. Set yourself up for success by focusing on looking for only that one right person in there, and that's all. The rest is just gravy. Another thing that is extremely helpful is planning icebreakers ahead of time. Some of my favorite ones are, what kind of work do you do? Do you work in this part of town? Do you do a lot of networking? There are many networking events around. What made you choose this one? Thinking ahead is characteristic of a leader. Now, if you really don't like talking to strangers in general, then make things interesting by giving yourself a reward every time you speak with X amount of people every month. That will help take some of the pressure off and shift your focus towards something more positive. Since we're on the topic of thinking ahead, doing a little homework before the event will give you a leg up as well. The things I recommend finding out ahead of time are who the speakers will be and what's the topic of the event, and what type of crowd is this event going to attract. Looking up the people you find on LinkedIn and in Google searches will be the silver bullet. By knowing these things, you'll be able to figure out who could be a good person to speak with, what type of icebreakers you could use, and how you could contribute and bring value to the conversations. Now remember that first impressions do matter, so make sure you are well put together, make sure you smile, and always make eye contact with the person you're speaking with. If you tend to get distracted easily, try being in a position that faces the wall as you're having the conversation. This way you can keep your eyes from wandering. It's also important to keep moving around the room and never limit yourself to speaking with only one or two people at an event. I know that moving away from a conversation is sometimes easier said than done, so in the email I'll send out this Friday, I'll include some one-liners that will help excuse you from the conversation so you can essentially continue working the room. A very important tip when talking to others is to make sure you don't take over the conversation. The most successful people in general, so not just networkers, but successful people in general, they reach that success because they're very good at listening and they're very good at making other people feel special. You make somebody feel special by looking into that person's eyes, by repeating that person's name throughout the conversation, and by active listening to what is being said with a light smile on that shows that you are interested in the conversation. Another good tip is to include some personal nuggets into the conversation. For example, somebody once told me, "Oh, I love the necklace you're wearing." Rather than me just saying thanks or thank you, I added a little personal story into the mix and said, "Thank you. The pendant was originally a pair of earrings my dad gave my mom when they first started dating." Personal stories are the ones that will make you more memorable to the other person. When engaging in conversation, go for open-ended questions. Questions that don't have simple yes or no answers. Questions like, what are your thoughts about blank? What attracted you to the industry you're in? Or how is blank working for you? These kinds of questions can open doors for a follow-up conversation as well. For example, I would love to learn more about the blank you were talking about. When do you have some time next to chat? That allows you to continue the conversation without sounding salesy and pitchy. And then the topic of salesy, here's how we can avoid sounding cheesy. Don't be all business all the time, and don't go for business talk off the bat. Professional networkers like I was. I had a job where I literally just got paid to network. People like me can smell sales sharks for a mile away, and that's a huge turnoff. Research showed that people evaluate other people they need in terms of warmth and competence, and when compared, the one that mattered most was warmth. So be warm, smile, and actively show an interest in the other person. The people who create positive energy are the achievers, and those are the kinds of people others want to be surrounded with. Now, since I mentioned handing out business cards earlier, I recommend not relying too much on doing that. If you're handing out 20 business cards, for example, odds are that you might get an initial reach out from one, maybe two people. So there's not only an amount of follow-up that needs to be done after the event. One thing I also love doing is getting the other person's business card or email address and say, "I'll send you an email after the event with my information. I believe there could be good synergy between us." After the event, I would email my information and include in the body of the email something that was personal about our conversation. If you talked a little bit about hobbies, for example, and you found that you have mutual interests, you could say, "I was really happy to meet a fellow karaoke singer." Whatever, something like that. I think you get what I mean. If this is an interesting topic to you, I think you will definitely want to get the email from me this Friday. I will share the steps to a more successful and memorable follow-up, the don'ts of networking, some polite ways to end the conversation, and a list of websites where you can find local networking events. There's a link below in the description where you can sign up. I send my email out once a week on Fridays, and it links to the private blogs where I share this type of additional content. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel, and join me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and newly Periscope. I plan on Periscoping every Monday. I will give you a first look of Tuesday's topic before it launches. I'll share exclusive tips that won't be part of the video, and I'll do a live Q&A. All my links are below. I love you so much for watching. May good luck and fortune follow you everywhere you go, today and every day. I will see you this Friday in a husband tag video. Yes, my husband finally decided to do it. So I will see you Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye.